Mrs. Dixon, you said that you wanted a 40% reduction in regulations and bureaucracy was going after our small businesses. So my question to you then is this. When this was happening 2 years and 3 months ago, when Governor Whitmer was ruling unconstitutionally with her draconian lockdowns, where were you at the front with the rest of us while we were pushing back against this? I haven't seen you at any of the protest or rallies. I did not see you go out and sign or circulate the Unlock Michigan petition to take away that 1945 law. And I didn't see you in November of 2020, in December of 2020, when she shut down the restaurants again for 25% capacity.
Ms. Dixon.
You must have missed me at Marlena's. You must have missed me out there.
That was in March of 2021.
Speaking.
All right, let's let Ms. Dixon reply.
You must have missed me out there on the air also talking about this and making sure there was a national audience. But I want to talk about...
Look, that's one thing that we're sick and tired of, is the establishment on both sides of the aisle. And that's why there's so many great Americans running for all levels of office now. We are done with the establishment-backed candidates. We are done with special interests and lobbyists. It's time for real Americans to stand up and represent the people.
Well, I think it's interesting. These three guys seem to be upset about the establishment. Maybe they should define establishment and how they would actually work with this mysterious establishment that seems to be elected officials that they are so against.
And Mr. Saldana, your rebuttal.
Well, my definition of established is basically your entire campaign. If you look at, you're backed by Shirky, right? And he said the election wasn't stolen, and he wanted to hold hearings to implement red flag laws. Then you have the DeVos empire, the DeVos machine that's basically campaigning your entire campaign. They wanted to implement the 25th Amendment against President Trump. They abandoned President Trump, and they're backing 5 out of the 7 opponents of Trump-endorsed candidates. And so that's kind of like my definition of establishment.
Time, Mr. Saldana.
Are you going to endorse Matt DePerno?
Time. Thank you. Ms. Dixon.
How do you explain going to that meeting? I know you lied to the Michigan people that you did not go to a meeting to try to get the DeVos support.
Yes, it was a restaurant association. The very restaurants that I was standing up from the very beginning in November, and when you were doing your podcast and you were saying that you were standing up. Bottom line, I have been in the trenches with our fellow Michiganders ever since the beginning, standing up for them while you were doing your podcast, while you were sitting in the shadows
The
and
DeVos
sitting
has
on the
introduced
bleachers.
you.
And so here we go again with an establishment-backed politician with her lies, trying to sugarcoat everything. But bottom line, you weren't there from the beginning.
You were actually there.
Right,
I mean,
time.
that's hard
Thank
to
you.
explain if you're you, right?
Bottom line is we, at least most of us here, except the establishment-backed candidate, have the same beliefs and values. We're conservative, right? So it comes down to these 3 things: leadership, fundraising, and do you have the chops to go up against Governor Whitmer? And I have proven over the last 2 years and 3 months what I bring to the table, not only with leadership, with spearheading and getting Michigan's greatest asset involved and activated to get positive change throughout the state. And that was the Unlock Michigan petition. That was recruiting thousands of licensed election inspectors. That was helping these kids get back to schools, helping these kids get back to athletics. The list goes on and on. I'm not a career politician up here giving lip service. Bottom line, I'm the only candidate on this stage that went up against Governor Whitmer and won. I'm 1-0. And what I'm most concerned with is we need somebody who's going to be focused and spearhead and do everything that they can to go up against Governor Whitmer.